Hi, this is Stephanie Lotvin of Tellybean Knits, and today I'm going to show you how to work a bobble stitch. So this is my favorite bobble stitch, and there are lots of different ways to work bobble stitches. One of my favorite things about this one, besides the fact that it really creates a great nub to give you lots of texture in your knitting, is that it also does not require a crochet hook, which many methods do. So let me just go ahead and work up to the point where we are ready to work our first bobble. You're going to work your bobble on the right side of your work. We'll just start right here. So I'm going to insert my right hand needle into the first stitch on my left hand needle knitwise. I'm going to knit that stitch, but I'm not going to remove it from the left hand needle. I'm going to bring my yarn to the front of my work. I'm going to insert my needle purlwise, and I'm going to purl that stitch. Now I have two stitches in the same stitch on the left hand needle, and I'm still not going to remove my yarn from the left hand needle. That loop is going to stay there. I'm going to bring my yarn back between my needles to the back of my work and knit that stitch, to the front of my work, purl that stitch, back of my work, knit that stitch, front of my work, purl that stitch, and then once more I'm going to bring my yarn to the back of my work and knit that stitch once more. Now I'm going to check on my needles. I should have 7 loops coming out of the same stitch on the left hand needle. So I have 2, 4, 6, 7 stitches. Now I know that I have 7 stitches coming out of that same loop on the left hand needle. Now I can drop the stitch off of my left hand needle. Now this is the part that can be a little bit finicky. What you're going to do is you're going to slip these 6 stitches over the first loop to the left, right here on your right hand needle. So you can do this 1 stitch at a time, 2 stitches at a time. If you can pull them all on, do all 6 stitches at once. I like to do them 2 stitches at a time. So I'm going to leave this first stitch on my right hand needle in place, and I'm going to slip the other loops over and off. So I've just slipped 2 stitches. You can insert that left hand needle and just give them a little wiggle. I like to hold that first stitch in place with my index finger until I'm ready to drop the new stitches off and over that first stitch. And then I'm going to take the last 2, I'm going to repeat that, the last 2 stitches. And now I should just have 1 loop on my right hand needle. I've slipped all of the other 6 loops over and off of that first stitch. Now I'm going to slip, without changing the orientation of that stitch, I'm going to slip that stitch back to my left hand needle, and I'm going to knit that stitch. And I've just created a bobble. Now you may find whenever you're working your next stitch, sometimes that bobble likes to pop to the back of your work. You can just push that forward with your finger. You can do that on this row, you can do that on any of your later rows, to just push that to the right side of your work so that the bobble doesn't accidentally start to peek through on the wrong side of your work. Just give it a little tug. Let me show you the bobble stitch one more time. Okay, I'm ready to work another bobble. I'm going to insert my needle knitwise into my left hand needle, into that first stitch on the left hand needle, and I'm going to create 7 stitches into the same stitch without dropping the stitch off of the left hand needle. So first I'm going to knit, bring my yarn to the front, purl, bring my yarn to the back, knit, that's 3, front, purl, that's 4, bring to the back, knit, that's 5, bring to the front, purl, that's 6, bring yarn to the back, knit, that's 7, verify that you have the stitches that you need on the needle, and then you can drop that stitch off of the left hand needle. Now one other tip, is when you're working those knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl back and forth into that same stitch, try to keep those stitches sort of loose. It'll make it easier for you to slip the stitches over this first stitch if you keep those stitches loose. I'm going to scoot those stitches a little closer to the end of my needle so that it also makes it a little easier to slip those stitches. Once again, you can do this one at a time. Slip that stitch over and off of the needle, over and off of the needle, or you could do those two at a time. As you get more confident, you may feel more comfortable slipping more stitches at once. And the goal is to slip all 6 of the stitches over and off of the needle until you have just one stitch left on your right hand needle. And then we're going to slip that stitch without changing its orientation back to the left hand needle, and we're going to knit that stitch once more. And you've just worked another bobble, and you can continue to knit. And that's how you work the bobble stitch. I hope you enjoy the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching.